BOMM, the fabulous community of Halton. Welcome back to the Today Show Halton region. I am Unstoppable Tracy Schmidt, if you're just tuning in. And with me is Chris Power, the future host of the Today Show Halton. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Tracy. Excited to be here. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you coming up as the future host and as my last and final segment guest. Folks, every time I'm with Chris, my cheeks are sore from laughing. This man is an improv comedian extraordinaire. He's a director, he's a writer, he's an advocate in the world of people with disabilities. And we are lucky to have him as the upcoming host of the Today Show Halton starting in March. Chris,
I'm
what
excited
has
for
you
the opportunity.
Oh, wow. Well, we are lucky to have you. But just before I jump into full force, Chris Powers and power up the world with Chris Power, we just had a powerful guest, Julie Mesquita. And I know that you were like on the edge of your seat tuning in with us with Julie. Wasn't she extraordinary?
Oh, she was brilliant.
She was brilliant, so great. So, and we're so lucky to have her serving Canada for those 22 years.
Thank you
But
for
I
our
think
service. Yeah.
yes. And so as somebody that lives out this way in the Halton region, aren't you stoked about going places?
That's going to be a wonderful magazine. I mean, she's nailed it right on the head, right? It's you have to search 20 different places to find one thing that you want to do. So if she's able to bring them all together and say, hey, just go here, that's perfect.
Yes, right? And then you've got a little guy and he's wonderful, but on top of all of your writing and your directing and your acting and your voiceovers and your improv nights, I mean, when you're finally sealing a family moment with your little guy, like who wants to spend an hour or more trying to find something to do spontaneous that's more exciting than the local park, right? So
It's
this
hard
is
for
great.
sure. Put him in
Yeah.
his suit, walk him to the park, and that's your time. But it'd be great if there were the events that we could say, hey, where can we go right now to look? And I think what she's doing is going to be fabulous.
Yes. Well, I can't wait to bump into you at a beer fest or two, maybe not with your son.
Not
If
yet.
it's a beer
Yeah, a
fest,
little
yeah.
too old. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another 20 years probably.
Oh, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. But but Chris, you have been immersed in the Disability Channel community in your profession, in your personal, in your recreation. Can you tell our wonderful Halton region a little bit about your past life and how you came to be part of this show with us?
Yeah, so in a past life, I went to school to become a police officer, didn't work out, and went back for business and found that business was kind of my path. And then I did that for 15 odd years and realized with COVID and with everyone else behind us that there's a generational verbiage gap and we can kind of pursue other avenues, which brought me into improv and comedy and short filmmaking.
Yes. And one that's hitting a gazillion film festivals right now. I think you said something like 38 film festivals for one
A
of your
lot
movies
more,
right now?
yeah. 56 film festivals for our short Jitter that you were in, and we've currently won 3 awards. The best
Woohoo!
compliment we've gotten from that so far is that, it's just been normalized, right? We didn't highlight any of your abilities, we didn't make the movie about your abilities, it was just there, and people had said, "Is that what you were trying to do?" And we said, "Yeah, absolutely." And they turned around and said, "High five, you've nailed it, like, that's exactly perfect." The
Nice.
second movie we did with you, Choking Hazard, which is almost done and will be premiering at the Movie Expo in March. Either they'll say, "Hey, you got something," or "Good for you." But even that is it's very unique and interesting, and I know it's going to win some awards. I know we put you in some weird positions,
You
but
to say the least. People, you gotta see this to believe it.
it was fabulous. It's a great script. It's a great story. My fingers are crossed and knocking on wood that someone loves it as much as I do, and we can make it bigger and better, of course. But for what it is, I think our team has done a fabulous job putting that together, and I'm excited to show you.
Yes. Well, my arms are crossed or my eyes are crossed, while you're crossing your fingers. I'm so excited. It's so true. Jitters was a phenomenal movie. I'm not the lead in that movie. I'm a bridesmaid in that movie, and that's it. I'm a bridesmaid. Like, of course, people with disabilities, invisible or visible, are doing everyday living activities, right? Weddings,
Yeah,
funerals, beer fests, who knows,
absolutely.
right? Having babies, all of the everyday life. And I think that's why it's exciting that you are part. I mean, I'm really excited because I know you have an extraordinary sense of humor and that you're very real and authentic and you're not a sugarcoater. And so I think that's why I'm excited that you're the host of the Today Show. But I also think it's exciting, probably on the professional side rather than the personal side, because it's true, there is a generational gap between the way the language my mother might use or the language that students in schools use with me. They don't even understand what I mean by exclusion, because every classroom has a person with a disability, and so life is very different from our younger generation. And so so what's some of your inspiration for upcoming shows? What are you thinking about?
Literally anything that we can shine a light on that's going to help with community, smile to inspire, and a version of accessibility. I've been overwhelmed with what people have been replying back when I've asked them, would you be a future guest? Can we talk about certain things? And if all goes according to plan, there's some exciting stuff coming up that you really don't want to miss. If you don't have Kojiko, you'll be able to see it on our YouTube channel as well. But it is one of those things where it's going to be pretty exciting and something that we haven't done before, but something where it's going to be just there.
Yeah. Uh, eh, I'm so glad. And, you know, I was really at first sort of torn up. I'm leaving my Today Show Halton community and loved ones. It become kind of a Halton region second family for me, especially in the pandemic, because this is the big social time, is reaching out to the community. And now I'm not sad, because when it was announced that you were going to be the host, I knew that I was leaving my beloved family in extraordinary hands, and that there's going to be laughs and there's going to be tears and there's going to be like jaw dropping. Did he just ask that? Because you are real. And I think that the difference you make is that you stretch people into what is really meant to be the future, and where we should be calling it the past. And we're not there yet, and you are there yet. And so I know from our own movies, like Choking Hazard is a bit risky. And
Very.
yeah, yeah, I sugarcoat things, and he does not. It is very risky.
It's going to be, people are going to, they're going to love it or they're going to hate it. There
Yeah,
is going to be no in between with that movie.
no,
And you've done a phenomenal job. I've watched the rough cut, those moments of your face, the way that you've done things, and the compromising position, the stuff that you're in. I think it's going to really just kind of showcase to people, hey, wait a minute, you can do these things too. So I'm pretty excited for it.
yes, and I look forward to when compromise is expectation. And what I love about Chris is he expects the most from me and from what I provide and what I put out there in his films and in our conversations. He doesn't let me fall back onto some, sugar sweet person with a disability to be likable and make everybody else feel comfortable. He wants to know what I really think. And that's what he's going to do for all of you. So, Chris, welcome to the role of the Today Show Halton. I'm trying to hand off the baton to my extraordinary Chris Powers. He is my friend, he is my director, and now he is your community leader on the Disability Channel, Kojiko, your TV, the Today Show Halton. Thank you all for listening. It has been a blessing to do this show with all of you. Please look out for the Today Show Toronto if anybody ends up moving out of town. But if you're staying a Halton local, please welcome and join me in saying hello, Chris Powers, for the Today Show Halton region.
Thank you very much, Tracy. I'm going to try to follow in your footsteps as best I can, but it's a pretty big shadow, so I'm excited to see what I can do.
Yeah, well, you just have to get on your knees to follow in my steps. Cheeky. All right, folks. Thank you for watching for the past several years, and thank you for watching today. Thank you, guest Julie Mesquita. We thank you for your service with Canada and for your upcoming magazine Going Places. And I will see Chris and Julie probably at the murder mystery in town. And I hope many of you come up and say hello. I came today because we saw your show. Bye for now. Be sure to tune in March with Chris Powers on the Today Show Halton region. Take care, folks.